Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I am coming to you today with a beautiful card. This is what we're going to be making today, and it is with Nature's Harvest bundle. It is this die set and this beautiful stamp set. Let me show you the die set. There's some added pieces hiding back here. So it's a pretty large size die set. The stamp set is just absolutely gorgeous. If you saw my Quiet Meadow bundle, when I showed that, this one works really well with it. It's from the mini catalog, and it is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you what page it's on so that we can you can find it in your books. If you need a copy of a mini catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. I'd be happy to mail you one. So it's on page 56, and here is the page. It has the stamp set and the dies. It pictures them here. It's also part of a suite called Harvest Meadow. I'm just showcasing the stamp set and dies, but it does have matching paper, this beautiful embroidery ribbon, some kind of metallic dots, some cork paper. We're also going to be using this beautiful embossing folder today on our card, so you get to see that. It's part of the suite. But those are the items I will be using today, and the whole entire suite is on page 54 through 56. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to clear some of this off the desk so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, let's leave our card. These are all the things that we will be using today, so they are out for a reason. I'm going to just pile up my ink pads and put them off to the side here. My blends, I'll slide them up to the top. Let's just move our stamps out of the way, and let's go ahead and get started. So for this card, we're going to take a half sheet of 8.5 by 11 in our basic white. I cut it down the long 11-inch length down the middle at 5.5, and that makes this piece 5.5 by 8.5. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. I'm going to use my bone folder to help me because that always helps me get a great crease. If you don't have a bone folder, I highly recommend one. They're awesome. So there you go. That's the base of our card. That forms the base, okay? We are going to be attaching some designer series paper. This is from the assortments, and this is from the 2020 to 2022 in color assortment. This is Bumblebee, and it's a beautiful yellow. We can go ahead and attach that down. I'm going to use seal adhesive, and you can see the other side has a different pattern, but we are going to use the side that has the smaller dots. I like to use the seal adhesive because it's super sticky, and I know that my card is not going to come apart for sure. So I'm going to put this off here to the side, and I want the same amount of border on the top, bottom, and side. Once I get that, I can go ahead and press that down. Now for our brown piece, we're using a piece of soft suede, and we're going to be stamping that. So we will go ahead and grab something to put underneath it. I'm going to be using soft suede ink, and I'm going to use a stamp that is really unusual. It's this one right here. It gives a really beautiful texture. So let's go ahead and grab that right here, and we are just going to put it here and there. And I'm going to do full strength in this corner, and then I'm going to do the next one there. I'm going to do another one here. Again, I'm going to do full strength, and then a lighter one maybe down here. And just add some more to the page by basically stamping all the ink off of it, just like that. while I am stamping, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp everything that needs to be stamped. I'm going to set this to the side for a minute, and then we will do the embossing on it with the embossing folder, and then we can attach it down. But for right now, I'm going to just get all the stamping out of the way. So we are going to do these words right here. It says, a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. We're going to stamp that on this little piece here of basic white in Bumblebee to match the paper. Let me bring it down here so I can see a little better. And I'm going to kind of center that in this long strip. I need room on one side to tie a ribbon and the other side for a banner to be punched out. So there's that done. I'll put that to the side. That will need to be cleaned in a minute. And then we are going to stamp the flowers. So we're going to use Memento Black. And when I have a large stamp like this, I tend to turn it upside down and bring the ink pad to the stamp rather than the stamp to the ink pad, because the stamp is bigger than my ink pad, and that way I can make sure that I am depositing the ink in the right spots and that I have good saturation. So we're going to do that like that. And this circle, which happens to be stuck to my block now, has been cut from the layering circle dies. When you purchase those, you get scallops and regulars, and it's this particular circle that I already cut out for us, kind of to save a little bit of time. And we're going to go ahead and position our flower just like so on the top and press down. And there's our pretty image. We're going to color that in a minute, but let's go ahead and stamp the last piece that I have to stamp. We're going to use that piece right there, and we're going to do this smaller flower. This is going to be for the inside of the card. So because this one fits on the ink pad, we're going to go ahead and put it right on there. Got good adhesive, good adhesive I'm talking. I don't even know what I'm saying. I got good coverage is what I meant to say. And go ahead and stamp that flower down right there. That's all the stamping. We're going to be doing some brushing with a blending brush in a minute with this light crumb cake. So let me put that one on top. Now that I have done all the stamping that's going to be done, I can go ahead and clean all my stamps. I love to use this stamp chamois because it is awesome and it cleans our stamps so well. That squeakiness means add some water to me. So I need to do that after this session because it usually is squeaky, but not quite so much. It's kind of saying, I'm thirsty, Mom. I will give you a drink in a minute, bud. Let's make it through this video. So there's that. Now I can put these stamps away here. Out of the way anyway. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this back and get that scrap paper out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and do some coloring. So I used Daffodil Delight, and this one's the dark. You know, you get two in a package. And I used the dark one, and I'm just going through here and coloring the petals of my coneflower. This is such a beautiful image, I think. I'm not exactly sure what color coneflowers come in. I'm not really a gardener. I do think flowers are really beautiful, but I don't know all the ins and outs and what is supposed to be what color. But since this is my card, I decided that I was going to make them look like kind of like Black-Eyed Susans, and obviously those are not coneflowers, I don't think. If they are, tell me in the comments below, because like I said, I don't really know that much about flowers, but I just found this image to be just so beautiful. And I wanted to use this color combination. I just thought it was really pretty. So we're going to go ahead and finish coloring these petals. Now I'm going to put, I wanted a little bit of orange to it, but not really orange. So I'm blending this cinnamon cider, and it's the light cinnamon cider, and I'm kind of blending that in so that it's like kind of like casting a shadow from the top. And I'm just gonna kind of put a little bit of that in there. And then I'm gonna go back over the top with the brush tip to blend that in. And that will darken that little area right there. I'm gonna use the light soft suede to color these tops here. And then for the green, for the stems and the leaves, and the underside of this small flower right here, I am going to be using Mossy Meadow, the light Mossy Meadow. So we're gonna come down. And I'm going to do that underside. I'm going to do this leaf here. I love coloring with these blends because it's so fast. And it's so easy. Coats so quickly. So there's that one. Let's color this one. I have to be a little bit more delicate because it's much tinier, and I don't want to push down too hard because I don't want to get this green ink where it's not supposed to go, right? So I'm kind of working my way up. This is the flower that's going to go on the inside of our card. And let's do this one right here. All right. So that's our green, and then we're going to just add the daffodil dark for the petals. And I'm going to do the same thing with the cinnamon cider that I did on the large image as soon as I'm done with coloring all of these. It's a pretty image. So I'm gonna, right here in the center, I'm gonna add that pop of color, and then I'm gonna go back over it in the daffodil to blend it. And then in the very tiny center here, I'm gonna put that brown, that dark brown there from the soft suede in the middle of that one. So those are done. This is gonna have to be cut out with our die cut. So let's pull that die cut out. And then we are also going to be using the Time Worn Type embossing folder, and I'm going to take this piece here that I did that stamping on, and I'm going to place it in the folder, and we're going to run that through the machine. We can't run them through the same time because this is extra thick and the die is extra thin, so we'll have to do it 2 separate times. But let me move my card out of the way and we can get started on that. Hopefully this fits in camera. I'm not exactly sure if you're getting it all, but to put the folder through, we just need the platform number 1, and it actually shows you on here, and number 4, it says for use with 3D embossing folders, which is what we're using. So we're going to put that. We're going to put the embossing folder, and then we're using number 4 platform right there. I mean, number 4 plate, not platform. The platform's at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and crank that through. Pop. I'm going to move that to the side. I'll show it to you in a minute when we're done. So then using the thin dies, we need 1, 2, and 3. So there's 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. I'm going to put my die right there on the top and try and grab that outline as best I can. And then I'm going to put my second number 3 on top of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and crank it through the machine. I'm going to pull that away. You can see how lovely that cut that out. I'm going to pull these plates out, put my two sides back up, and then I will show you the results of the embossing folder. Let's go ahead and, whoops, wrong one. Let's go ahead and stick that die back so that I don't lose it. Slide it up in there. There we go. All right, so here's that cut out. I don't need that bottom section. And here is this time-worn type folder. It's going to go back in there. So when you open that up, it has that beautiful texture all over that piece. And I'm actually going to sponge it, but let's go ahead and put the folder back away. And then we can bring out the blending brushes. We're going to do some sponging. And then we can assemble our card. So we're in the home stretch. That's what I like to call it anyway. When we have all the components and we're just putting the finishing touches on there. All right, so let me bring my scrap paper back. And we are going to be using I told you, the crumb cake on the white, but on this piece, we're going to use the same color, which is the soft suede. So let me grab that. Whoops, wrong one. That's Bumblebee. Here we go, soft suede. I'm gonna rub that in the blending brush, and then I'm gonna brush a little to the outside and get that little dark spot off. And then I'm just gonna rub this all over to help bring out that color and all those raised edges, help them pop off of my piece right here, just like that. So that's done. We can set that to the side and we can assemble that in a minute. With the crumb cake, which is this one, I'm gonna grab the light blending brush. This one's for the dark brown and this one's for the light brown. You can see the difference, right? So this one we're gonna do on all of our white pieces. So again, I'm gonna rub my blending brush in and I'm just gonna tap off the excess. And then I'm just gonna darken this. I kind of want it to look worn or aged, I guess is the right look. I'm gonna do the same thing to this circle here. I'm just gonna put that around it. And then I'm gonna take the brush with the soft suede, and I'm not gonna re-ink it, but I'm just gonna work my way around, and I'm just gonna deposit a little bit darker off of that blending brush right there onto my circle. Does not look good. It just kind of gives it that worn look. Same thing here for this. I'm just gonna go over it with, just soften the white so it's not quite so stark. So all of those pieces are done. So we can go ahead and close our pad. And let's go ahead and bring our card in here. We can start assembling. So we've already attached this piece. Let's go ahead and use the punch on our words. So we're gonna stick this in here and just push it all the way until it touches the back and give it a little press. There we go. With the backing piece, we're gonna do the same thing. Slide it down the same side. Push it in until it touches the back. And give it a little press. Now I'm gonna attach these two together. Hopefully they're the right size. I have to just trim this edge slightly. I'll grab my paper snips and take that much off. Let's see if that is the right size now. Looks great to me. So let's move these blending brushes out of the way. We don't need those right yet. And we will go ahead and attach this back, if I can get my adhesive going. Run some there, and we're going to go ahead and attach these two layers together. It gives a little border all the way around the outside, just like that. And then I'm going to tie my ribbon right here. So I'm just going to put it around this side here. And then once I tie it, I can slide it into place. So it doesn't matter really where I tie it. I just want to make sure that it's around both layers, the white and the green that have been glued together. And I'm tying a knot. So I'm kind of hold my finger there and put this piece underneath here and pull it through and then pull that knot tight, just like that. And then once I'm happy with it, I can put it into place like so. And now I'm going to use my ribbon cutting scissors and I am going to trim those edges. I don't want them quite so long. This is the same paper snip, but I have designated it as a ribbon cutting scissor by putting a charm on it. I know that I only want to use it for ribbon, and I'm doing that to keep my scissors nice and sharp. And these are only used for the fabric, and the other ones are used for paper. All right, so that's ready. Let's go ahead and attach this layer right here. Now, because it is embossed, I'm not going to use this adhesive. I'm actually going to use a wet adhesive that I like to use on anything that has a raised edge, and it's called Multi-Purpose Glue by Tombow. And so I'm going to go ahead and shake some down here. And as you can see, I'm not really fastening the edges, and I'll show you in a minute why. I'm going to run my fingernail along them in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and just give this a lay down. I like that it gives me a little wiggle room. And I'm just going to straighten it, press that down, and then I'm going to run my nail around the edge and kind of wear the edge out. I don't have a long nail, as you can see. I just have a short one, but just even a short nail, it just kind of lifts that edge and gives it kind of like a rough look, a little bit ruffled or pulled, and that's what I want. Now I can finish pushing it down. And since I'm bonding this piece also onto that, I'm going to go ahead and use the same adhesive for it so that it will stick really well to that embossed piece. So we're going to grab that. And we're going to go ahead and attach it maybe right there. That looks good to me. I'm going to angle it a little bit and press that down. That looks awesome. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of this. So we're going to give it one up here, one in the middle, and one back here. And I like to use the Take Your Pick tool. So I'm going to dig the pointy end into the dimensional, and that helps to lift the paper backing off, and then it all stays attached on here. I can take it and throw it away. It doesn't end up all over my craft room floor. Love, love, love that part. And then this, I'm going to kind of join this to the end of the brown piece, and I want it to kind of overlap here, so I'm going to raise it up, have it overlap slightly, and then these points should be close to the yellow edge, just like so. Let's go ahead and glue this flower on the inside. I'm going to use the wet glue again, just because it's very small, and it's a little bit harder to put that seal adhesive on this small part. So we'll use that one more time. I'm going to grab my tweezers. I like to use that for small pieces. And then we're going to open our card. I'm going to attach that right here in the corner. I think that looks pretty. And then for the finishing touch, last little part, we're going to go ahead and put the Playing with Pattern resin dots, and we're going to use these yellow ones. I really love the color of them. I think they're pretty. And we're going to use the smaller ones. We're going to do use the Take Your Pick tool one more time. Instead of the pointy end this time, we're going to use the putty end. Okay, and we're going to get the larger, not these big ones here, but the larger of these. And we're going to take that and we're going to put it in this corner down here by itself. And then where I'm going to put two of them, I'm going to use these because they're the same size. We're going to put one there and one beneath it, just like that. And there is our card. Not too bad, right? Not too hard. I really like it. I think it turned out super awesome. I hope you think so as well. Here's the two of them side by side. We're doing good for time, and I just wanted to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so if you don't mind helping me out, giving me a like, a comment, sharing my video, or subscribing, and ask your friends if they would subscribe too. When you subscribe, you get notifications of when I post my videos. I want you to check out my blog, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I've been blogging for over a year. And I blog every single day, so there's always inspiration for you to see. I will also put the link for my blog in the description below. And when you go there, you can access PDFs and measurements and more fun projects. Thanks again for watching me. I really appreciate it. I'm always grateful for those that come and get a little inspiration from me. So again, this is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts, and I wish you happy stamping. Bye, guys.